Welcome back to the Clubhouse, and for those of you just joining us, welcome to the Tribe. We are a group of FSU alumni obsessed with the culture, the gear, and the game of golf. From breaking down tour news to roasting our own weekend blow-ups, no topic is out of bounds. Grab a drink and settle in. This is the Tea Time Tribe. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Tea Time Tribe. Here again, we have Ian, John, and myself, Eric. Apologies for missing an episode last week. We had too much fun, too many shots on the golf course during our OBX trip. So we'll recap that. We'll recap the players, the Valspar that just happened, and then we'll get into the Texas Children's Houston Open. So just quickly recapping the players 2 weeks ago, Cam Young came out on top. The entire time, Ian, I was thinking about your stat from that week's episode of more often than not, if you're in the lead going to the final day, you're probably not going to win. Sure as shit, Aberg did not win.
He did not. It was tough. It was tough to watch, honestly. As the pod knows, I'm a big Ludwig fan. But yeah, I mean, both Cam and Fitzy played well on Sunday, and it was a fun tournament nonetheless. I'm really bummed none of my hole-in-one bets hit. That was pretty shitty. But there were a few close calls. But I feel like nobody really came that close on any day this year. But it also looked like the greens were super dry. Super dry.
Yeah, they looked dead like Friday morning.
But yeah, other than that, to me, it's a great tournament. One of the better tournaments in a while, honestly, just with kind of the drama coming down to the last day. So many big names on top. That's what we talk about all the time, having those big names at the top of the leaderboard. It makes it more fun to watch. It makes you want to watch it. And yeah, fun event overall.
Yeah, fun event. As you said, tough on Ludwig. It was tough to watch. First 3 days, he was just hitting every shot. He was locked and loaded. And Sunday, he was just missing. He's a great iron player, and some were just going every which way and putting himself in just really, really bad situations around the green for chips, and then just putts weren't going. So, but coronation for Cam Young. He's had just a good run since the Ryder Cup, the end of last year too. He's been playing really, really well. We picked a great day to have a really great day at that tournament on Sunday. I think we're going to remember a lot of shots. That drive on 18, just taking an insane line, tough, just sprayed out to the right with a 3-wood, avoid the water. But he just said he launched, the drive of his life. And I mean, they said it was the longest drive in that hole in the last 25 years or something like that, since they've been keeping that stat. Because he had just less than 90 yards left. I mean, it was just an insane drive given the circumstances. But he sealed the deal with that, obviously. Needed a par, and he sealed the deal. He's been on the cusp so many times, and everyone's, when is he going to break through and win a really big event? It's a really big event. So it's, a lot of trajectories like last year. Rory won the players leading into the Masters and obviously won the Masters. So this is shaping up well for him to have a good rest of the year, getting a win in this tournament.
I'm looking at his results from this year. He started off a little shaky at the Farmers and the Phoenix Open and Pebble Beach, but Genesis, he was T7, Arnold Palmer, he was T3. And then obviously he won the players. And that, to your point on the drive on 18, the way he's been playing, like you said, since Ryder Cup, and that drive on 18 under those conditions, I would be shitting my pants if I was any other player on tour right now. That just shows he's just like, look, I don't care if there's water all entirely down the left side. I'm just going to take out my driver, just pound it out there like it's just a normal day.
Well, and also keep in mind, he has such an interesting swing too, to be able to pause on the backswing. And one of the biggest questions is, can you continue to create the amount of momentum you need to keep up your swing speed to hit the ball far? And because one of Bryson's mentalities is you have to take the club back fast so that you can swing the club through faster, right? It's all about that momentum. He literally stops his momentum at the top. And I know Hideki earlier this year was getting comments from the commentators in the booth at the Waste Management, I think it was, talking about how he's lost a step in yardage, and that's due to the fact that he pauses in his backswing. But Cam Young's not losing any fucking steps anytime soon. Anybody who can go out there and vomit 367 yards, I don't care how much or how little adrenaline you have, that's a fucking rip, man. That's a sick drive. just to go out there and do. The question is, do you think he knew that he was going to hit at 367? I don't know of many other guys on tour who could hit at 367 ever.
I would like to think that he knew he was just going to pound it.
Yeah, it's an insane line.
Like you take all of the water out because he hit it in the water on Saturday. So to get up there and do that again, yeah, I think it's stick it to your game plan. And I don't care how much of a grimace he has on his face throughout every round. The guy's a stud, and I'm glad he's a U.S. player. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Oh, yeah. One of the names that he ended up finishing T5 that was on there is, and I'm probably going to butcher this, is Sudarshan Yella Maraju.
Canadian.
The home talk guy.
Yeah. I saw something on it that he wasn't one of these big names coming out of college, and he's kind of older and just kind of forcing his way in there and just keeping at it. And I think it goes back to something that we've talked about many times in the pod of like, what are these new guys going to do and who's going to be the next name? And this is another one of those paths that I think people forget about, especially if they start getting rid of some of these Monday qualifiers, that you're not going to get these kind of stories. And he's been playing well the last couple of weeks. He's basically playing himself into all these events now. So it'll be interesting to see if it continues, how he does in some of these events going forward. I'm not sure if he's going to be in any of the majors this year, perhaps. To finish T5 at the Players, that's wild.
Yeah.
Big payday. True. I think it was 800, almost 900K. Big day for him.
It's that's not. And sorry, you're not thinking of Hitsatsuni, right?
No.
He's different. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to confirm.
No. Yeah. He's like John said, he's a Canadian guy. He's currently 30th in the FedEx Cup. He's 145 in official world golf rankings. He's played in the 7 events this year. He's only missed one cut. He was top 20 at the Cognizant. So yeah, and he 925,000 is what he made at the Players.
Yeah.
Hello.
So his career earnings is almost 1.3. So basically all of his career earnings is just from
this year. Yeah.
And we also should note, again, we're blaming this one on Ricky Fowler. We were looking very good this week. We're getting closer.
So good.
We were getting closer.
So
Aberg dropped down to T5. Our other pick was Sepp, who finished T8. I think at one point, both of them were like 1-2 or in the top 3.
I think
Ricky was hovering.
T3. Yeah.
But Ricky just kind of fell apart in the weekend. He ended up finishing T42 he actually didn't even have a round in the 60s. He went 70, 72, 75, 70. So it's a little disappointing.
Phooey.
It would have been really nice to hit at this kind of event. It's just going to make it that much sweeter when we do hit.
I love the optimism. All
right. And then Valspar, that just concluded yesterday. Matty Fitz coming off, the close runner-up at the Players, gets it done. I didn't get to watch too much of it. Did any of you guys see any of it?
Yeah, I caught a little bit on Sunday. It played pretty tough. I mean, he finished 11 under. So you look at all these tournaments nowadays, 15, 20 under or better. So the course held up pretty tough over the 4 days there. I've been to that tournament a couple of times. Surprisingly hilly course, especially for the Tampa area. I think a lot of guys play it because some holes, you're going to get similar lies that you're going to get to at Augusta. I'm not comparing the two courses. I want everyone to, before it freaks the fuck out. I'm just saying that some of the holes, the structure of the holes, the lengths, the shot lines, the lies are somewhat similar to some holes at Augusta, especially for a Florida course. Matty Fitz hit a 13-footer on 18 for birdie to go ahead. He wasn't the last group. I think he was the second or third of the last group to go off. So he had to wait. David Lipsky, I think was the group behind him. He was one back, and he almost holed out from off the green to tie. He gets 11 under. But good week for a good bounce back week for Matty Fitz. It was again tough week. Wasn't the most loaded field, but a win's a win. He's obviously playing well. Coming off the Players and out with Valspar.
Unfortunately, John, I think this may be one that exits stage left with the new schedule.
I don't care. Not gonna cry over here, man. The painting industry might. Shout out to Valspar. Yeah. They got $15 million that they needed marketing they need to do with starting next year or 2 years from now.
Yep. I think it lead up to Augusta is I think that's the perfect time to take a little siesta between the players and then the
Yeah, well, we kind of forgot to talk about that. That was the announcement that was made. What was it? Wednesday before the players, Tuesday before the players. It came out that they were going to kind of look at going to a condensed schedule. Which, Ian, you sent us that clip of JT talking about, how it's just event after event after event now, and how him and other players are starting to feel the mental capacity as well of just kind of staying true to yourself, keep your focus as much as you can. But I mean, we played 4 rounds over 4 days and I was exhausted. And this is coming from us that we used to play 72 holes in 2 days, and that was even worse. But considering the prep they go through week in and week out, I can't even imagine how they do this with back-to-back weeks of these signature events and then majors come into play. I think it's a good move on the tour's part.
Don't be a little bitch. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry, Jock. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was.
I have nothing eloquent to say.
Well, it's whatever his name is, CEO Brian Rowland. He sent you guys a tweet and said like, "Hey, 9.5 out of 10 times, you just listen to the fans and you'll get it right." And then in this case, listen to the players on the tour, get it right. Like that's they're gonna have a lot of input on it, obviously, and it's like, hey, if this is what you guys want, this is what we'll do. Work with you guys.
I don't know if any. I personally have not met a single fan of the PGA that says we need to keep the current amount of tour events, definitely not expand. So I think it's the right. I think it's the right.
I mean, I know myself, once the Masters hits, I only really focus on those 4 majors. Like I'll watch every now and then, especially some of the bigger names in between the majors. But yeah, as like a fan and someone that watches it and obviously bets on it, it's a lot to even just like, yeah, let me turn it on. It's just how it is, I think. And going to a condensed schedule will be interesting to see if those ratings go up, if the players are happier, and how it moves in that direction.
Yep, agreed. Going to be an interesting couple of years here, gentlemen.
It'll also be interesting to see how TGL gets in all this too.
Yeah,
if they can keep the momentum going. It's slowed a little bit this year, which I think everyone was anticipating. I mean, last year was such a novel concept, and now people are back in it. They got to get Tiger to play eventually. I feel like he's got to get in and be more in the mix more often, consistent, and then that'll. We talked about it. He moves the needle, if it's TGL.
I mean, he's there. Anytime Jupiter Links is playing, he's giving the other team shit. He's talking strategy. He's throwing flags. He's throwing the challenge flag. I agree though, John. He needs to get back in the arena.
I mean, no walking, just hit a celeb shot, celeb putt, whatever. It's the lowest.
Like
it's
beer
the
pong,
lowest
celeb shot.
Yeah, it's the lowest of low impact. Like you can do it as long as it's driving range work. I mean, honestly, it's all just
Dude, I feel like that would be a great idea to have a celeb shot as part of it.
Why not? Bring a celebrity on your tube.
Would it? Now the question is, would it be a detractor or would it be a positive for the team? Would you play the card of being able to play a celebrity?
I
card?
feel like it's purely a ratings play to be like, Steph Curry is going to join the Jupiter Links this week.
Yeah, Josh Allen's going to hit. Yeah, whatever.
And it's like celebrity against celebrity because you couldn't put them against the tour players, right? Like that wouldn't be fair most of the cases, unless it's like Kevin Kisner. Then maybe put some of these celebs.
I think it'd just be interesting to see if they tweak the TGL schedule with this condensed schedule from the tour side. Like, do you think on the off weeks they might have the TGL going on, or do they keep TGL more of the beginning before majors start? Which I would assume they would, but if eyeballs need to go somewhere, maybe those off weeks.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, Augusta's not too far up the road, playing right away from Palm Beach. So I don't know. As long as it's towards the beginning of the first major or just after the first major, I think they'll be okay.
All right. Well, enough talk about those stupid tournaments and TGL. Let's get to the meat of the episode. Our Outer Banks golf trip. We got our new clubs. Gentlemen, how do we feel about it?
I think I got mine right here.
Ian
still
would have it
suck.
right next to him. You didn't even really want it. You wanted a 3-wood.
Actually, I wanted a 7-wood.
God.
There it is. I got it. And I can confirm it is a real driver head. It is the actual TaylorMade QI4D driver head. We did not have to sell any kidneys for it or have our livers taken. No, all good.
Still intact. Yep.
Highly surprised.
I will say for me, the fitting, in theory, I would have changed how we did it. Because in theory, doing it before all of our rounds so we had the club made sense. But looking back on it, doing it right out of the car after a 3-hour drive, not the best. I mean, I snap hooked 3 of my 5 shots before he gave me a driver to try. And he was like, this will help your hook. And I was like, what hook? It's snapped out the trees. So I'm pretty sure my driver is set fully open. So I'm pretty sure I have to change that.
Yeah. I coming from a guy who literally just went through about a 90-minute fitting less than 2 years ago for figuring out which driver shaft combo was the best for me. The fact that number one, none of them sent us our results, which that was a huge miss. It's a $650 driver, right? How do you not save your current stats just to be just for shits and giggles to be able to show your buddies these were my previous stats and this is what I'm now showing, at least at the time of the fitting, right? Also, how long do you think we total took each? Maybe on average 12 minutes, maybe
Not even.
Yeah.
maybe less. And the guy just goes, "Here you go. Here's your shaft. You like it? Yeah, how's it feel? Good? Yeah, numbers look good. Cool. It's your driver. Enjoy. Go ahead. Go to first tee. First tee's right up there. Go ahead. Take it." It's I feel like a little bit more time and effort could have gone into it.
I'm still a little upset that we didn't even get a tool to change it. If I want to change the weights around, or if I want to change the head, I can't change it. I need to go get a tool.
You sure there's not one in the bag?
What bag?
Or did he not give you one as part of the?
I didn't get anything. I got just the club, and then he gave me a head cover. He goes, "Here you go."
They sell them on Amazon for $5.
I don't want to pay for it. I paid $650 for that club.
You know what, Eric? You're right.
You can have mine. I mean, are they all the same or are they all different?
A lot of them are the same. Like Callaway and TaylorMade are the same.
Okay. All right, I have one then. Yeah.
It'll be nice just to tinker with it. That's all.
I think I have an extra one as well if you need it.
I was going to say, Ian, I'm sure you have more than one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Many.
But anyway, they look cool. I felt cool swinging it. Didn't really help my game much, but
what are you talking about? Fuck off,
John. No.
Dude, John literally was all right. So this, I don't want to hear a fucking peep out of this guy. This guy was absolute stripe motherfucking city with the driver. We're not going to talk about any other club in his bag, but
yeah,
the
I've
driver,
never seen you hit it so well off the tee.
And there were days out there that it was 30, 40 mile an hour winds, and he was just right through the wind, just piercing ball flight, rolled for a country mile, and he knew where it was going. I don't know how, but he knew where it was going. It's crazy.
I blacked out for those shots. When Jordan Spieth said, "You don't know golf. Are you going to remember the good or you remember the bad? You don't know golf. I don't remember the good."
Have you ever played golf? Yeah.
Have you ever played golf? Yeah, I remember the good.
It also does suck a little bit that after we get the driver, the first round we played at Kilmerlick Golf Club, what was it, 4 holes in, 5 holes in, just weather took a serious turn. I remember I was driving in the cart with Shane. Shout out Shane for getting us on this trip.
Number one fan.
Yeah.
I remember we were going from whatever that par 5 was, I think it was 4 or 5, to the next tee that we called the what was the Bay Hill tee?
Par 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was over the street. Yeah.
It was getting cloudy as hell outside, but that short little 20-second drive, the temperature dropped. I mean, it had to be 15 degrees at least.
If you this is what I can compare it to. If you've ever seen the movie Harry Potter, and when the idea of when the Death Eaters come out to try to eat you, I feel like that is a perfect representation of what we experienced on the golf course. There were fucking Death Eaters that were about to come come get us because the temperature dropped literally within seconds. It was like less than a minute that it dropped at least 15 degrees, and then dropped another 10 after that over the next like 30 minutes.
It was like walking into like a walk-in freezer. Like you're just like in a normal temp, 72 degrees, you're comfortable, and all of a sudden that chilling. You're kind of like, I'm in the same place. I haven't moved, and it was very bizarre. And yes, like the sky did feel like that they were just circling above us, and it was very reminiscent of that.
I remember
it was eerie.
I told Shane I kind of felt like that moment in The Day After Tomorrow when it started getting like nice outside and then everything started freezing. I was like, good God, this is how they must have felt.
Yep, this is how we die. This is how we die. At one point, I did think we were going to die.
Yeah.
Was it 16?
The down tree. Yeah.
That was, what was that, 11?
No, that was
on
16,
the back,
right?
I think.
Yeah,
no,
that was on the back.
The tree
16
that we
was a par 5 when it started downpouring.
Or no, it was like 12 or 13.
12,
yeah,
because
12.
11 was that par 3 that we have film on that we'll post. That was like, what was like 130-yard par 3 over water that was like 20 miles an hour into our face. Or no, it was downwind. It was downwind, wasn't it?
Downwind. The one that we filmed was downwind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
John did not hit a great shot there. It was not bueno.
I had a lot of great shots that weekend. That was one of my rare mishits.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah. John and I did not put on a show. Well, we did put on a show, but it was more like a circus show. That felt like a couple of clowns out there.
To be fair, that first round at Kilmerlick was just a circus in it of itself because of the weather.
Yeah, we were battling.
Yeah.
We were playing very quickly to try to get as many holes as we could. And I remember we were standing on 16, I believe that par 5 when it started downpouring. And I had my rain jacket on. Shout out Amazon. It was like $35 for top and bottoms. And I couldn't even see when I moved my head to see where I was aiming. I couldn't even see it. I was seeing the inside of the hat I was wearing. I just chunked it right into the shit, called it a day.
Yeah, it was hailing at that point too. There was stuff falling from the sky that there weren't raindrops. They were hard.
I would like to make note. I would like to make a note though of my of 17.
I was going to bring that up. Given the elements, almost a hole in one. That would have been amazing. We would have ended the round right there.
Yeah, correct.
Done. I may not have played the other rounds, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, I remember you hitting that. I was like, this would be a fucking hell of a way to get a hole in one here.
And I'm not gonna.
I'd be just like, I'd be jumping around with excitement, but also like, let's get out of here. Like, get the ball and go. Come on.
The best thing you had going for you, if you did hit that hole in one, there were only 4 other golfers besides our group that were in the clubhouse you would have had to buy drinks for.
That's true.
We literally were the last people on the course.
Very minimally expensive bar tab. No, like the fact that I had that. All of us had on 3 layers of 3 layers of clothing was just unreal. Unreal that we played even as many holes as we did. Brought to you by my net positive golf ball that I found, my Wheaties golf ball.
There you go.
But
it was a good round.
Hey, you know what? It was a hell of a round to start. It really did. I dare say set the temperature for the rest of the weekend. Yeah. Because it was cold as fuck the next day. Got a little warm on Saturday, but dropped right back down on Sunday.
So yeah, that second round at Currituck Club, I think it may have been slightly colder than it was the day before. Temperature-wise, I think it was colder, but it was a little windier.
It was just, it was cold. It was more consistently cold. Round 2, for sure. Because round 1, there was like a little bit of warmth at the beginning. Didn't last very long, but round 2 was also just, really, really windy, being right there on the sound the entire round. Another round of dialing the elements on every shot.
Although Ian's elements at Currituck Club was almost every employee at the club couldn't give him an answer of how quick the greens were.
Look, man, it's not a hard question to answer.
Apparently it was.
I need this to go to a poll on our socials too, because All I asked was, hey, what are the speeds of the greens?
And his response?
Pretty straightforward question. And the guy at the counter looked at me like my head was fucking backwards. Said, green speeds. I don't know anything like that. They're kind of slow right now, but they're also sometimes fast. Okay, man. Have a great day. I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm done
Have you
with this
played golf before?
conversation. Yeah. Have you ever played golf before? And then the next guy was the same shit, but that guy at least had a lead on a guy who may know a guy who knows the speed of the greens.
Out here trying to buy drugs at the golf course. Just, hey, hook me up. I need some information here.
Give me something. Just looking for a
I
little
thought you were a narc from the USGA or something like that. Giving off that vibe.
Fucking.
That's when you should have pulled out your own stimp meter and just, fine, I'll do it myself and just go out to the green, start gauging it.
Now that would have been good. That would have been pretty good. Oh, you don't know? It's all good. I got it. We're good.
I stay strapped.
Yeah.
I keep that thing on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. So, Kurita Club, I kind of like the back nine better than the front.
Yeah.
I wasn't that big of a fan. I feel like the front was borderline gimmicky a little bit because I feel like the first couple holes they built throughout like the complex there because that drive from fucking 1 to 2
journey.
But I think didn't we see that the nines had been flipped?
Which makes zero sense because I think the other way, if they did flip them, that would be ridiculous to have what was 18 that we played to be 9 stopping at the clubhouse there.
Yeah, that would take quite a bit of time, but it was it is a great finishing hole now. Yeah, straight uphill. You got to hit an okay tee shot. There's a big drop off to the left, and then you've got quite a large bunker that's protecting the green to the left.
Big one.
Left front of the green, and the entire green slopes back down towards the bunker. So if you don't quite get it there and you have any type of spin, it's going to spin off the front and back into that bunker, which we saw a few of the guys in a few of the guys in our group behind us do that. I think at least one of them had one that spun off, didn't he? Or it hit the lip and came back down.
You hit the lip.
Yeah.
Fun.
Those last couple finishing holes on that course were very nice.
Yeah. Those were kind of what I imagined it being on the inlet. That's some inlet golf.
And I think the highlight for me on that back nine, what was it? Was it 15, the par 3? I think it was, where we had the geese incident with Shane.
The tard.
Yeah.
The tard goose.
Gotta love it. I wish we had that on film.
Or was that on Saturday or was that on Friday with the geese?
That was on Friday. That was at Kurita Club.
That was Kurita.
Okay.
Yeah. That was really good. So there was one, and so for those listening, there's a goose that a lot of geese on this, quite a few gaggles of geese, you might say, on this golf course. But on this par 3, our buddy Shane in our group had a simple chip on a par 3 over the bunker, but there were a gaggle of geese just sitting there, just chilling. They didn't give a fuck at his ball. Yeah, just surrounded, which I'm surprised they didn't try to fuck with Shane, but there was this one. All of them got up. All of them got the hint. They were like, all right, fine. We'll move up. Other than this one little tar that just didn't get the memo. And Shane did not trust himself not to just pelt him. So he had to wait for this goose to get the hint before he got up and left. So fun times. Nobody said they were smart. They got anger issues, but nobody said they were smart.
Do they ever?
And then we finished up the trip at the Point Golf Club, which best weather we had by far.
Mm-hmm.
I would rank it the 3rd best of the 3 we played.
Definitely a resort style, of course.
I mean, it was, what was it, like 6,200 from the tips or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't in bad condition. I thought the course was pretty good.
It was probably in the best condition out of all 4 of the courses that we played, to be honest.
That's true.
Greens are in good shape. Yeah, greens, good shape.
Tee boxes look pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward course.
And then last one.
Well, I was gonna say for the Point Golf Club, what was that one par 3 par 5 in the back, in the front. I think it was 8 that had, you really couldn't take driver off the tee, but none of us knew that.
Yeah.
And John, you and I just hit it straight into the trees on the left there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I didn't know because I didn't play the hole on that hole.
You were going green hopping on like 6 and 4.
Yep. And I ended up making par. So how about
I don't know
apples?
I don't know how. Every time I looked, you were getting further away from the hole, but somehow closer.
I was going to say, looks will be deceiving because he was staying to the right, but he was going closer, but he was still like off to the side. He was out of the frame. So you're like, he's not going to get on. But then he had like his fourth shot. He was right at the green and he chipped it close and made the par putt. Worked out.
Every now and then, man. Well, I knew I couldn't go left, so I erred on the side of caution and flared it way right. A lot of room, a lot of space, right?
Then they had that one hole in the back after that par 3, what was it, 10, 11, 12. It was the short par 4 that was basically playing as a par 3. It's like 200 yards because the bridge was broken. And they had that fucked up hole after that where we had no idea where the hole was going, if it was going left or right or straight. And I just basically almost hit someone in the head on 10 because my drive went so far to the fucking right.
Yeah, it was funny.
Good times.
And then
good times.
And we rounded it out, us 3. Shane, unfortunately, couldn't join us because it would have been a trip for him, but we got to Royal New Kent. John and I have played it before, albeit in a lot warmer conditions. But Ian, first time at that course, another Strands. What were your thoughts?
Man, I wanna give it its time in the sun, because this was not a lot of sun that was hitting this golf course. It was pretty brown, to say the least. I feel like if you play this anytime other than the winter, this is a hell of a Mike Strands course. There were a few greens that looked a little rough just because I feel like it may have been Strands may have gone a little overboard on the undulations on a few of these greens, especially with the amount of undulation that's already built into the course itself getting to the green. But that's with any Strands course, right? You're going to get hit with that. But the greens rolled very smooth. One might say too smooth on, what was it, 15 or 16? That we saw the infamous backwards putt.
I still to this day don't know how you did that.
So I hit this is a par 5.
Par 4.
No, it was a 4. It was a 4.
Probably like a 5.
Was
like
it?
15.
It was a 4.
Yeah,
it was
par
like
4.
I think it's the longest par 4 in the course. I think it was like 430 or something like that.
Holy shit.
Dog leg left.
Dog leg left. You gotta hit a good drive to give yourself any chance, any opportunity at the green. And it was, I think we still had like 2, we all hit fairly good drives. Me on my second, hit a good drive. Still had like 200 into the green. Hit an okay second shot just short of the green and chipped it up to about 3 feet. And then that ball came back about 20 feet. So had about
more.
Honestly, it probably should have been off the green, but to about 20 feet, but it was beneath the pin. And I knew I had to get it to the hole. And I had seen, putt did I see? Eric, did I see your putt that came back already?
No, because I went after you. You went first.
Or was it John?
Mine did not stay up, period.
Yeah. But because you were up on the top. You were up on the top left.
Mm-hmm.
So smacked mine. I was about 1.5 feet past the pin, and all you see is this ball just start trickling.
Right into the fucking hole.
Trickled right back into the hole. And then Eric wasn't nearly as lucky.
Diabolical hole placement.
If that was tournament golf, I would still be there trying to make that putt.
I don't know how it stops.
We were, and the funny part is we were giving the guys in the group in front of us shit because they were up there and we were like, what are these slapdicks doing on the green?
What the fuck are they doing?
Get the fuck off the green, man. Like, how long does it take to hit a putt in the hole? Well, joke was on us. Joke was
we learned. Yes.
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of fucked up because the hole before was that long par 3 where both of you went down the hill on the right hand side. That looked like you were basically just jumping off a cliff at that point.
That's what it felt like.
Yep. Kind of wanted to after that shot, but yeah.
Where would you put Royal New Kent with other Strands courses that you've played so far?
Yeah. So the question was between Todd Hill and Royal New Kent. I personally liked Todd Hill a little bit more, but if it just because of the conditions, I think if I go back and play Royal New Kent again in good condition, I think there's a strong chance that I'd like it better than Todd Hill. I think it's more fair. I think Todd Hill, there were some holes at Todd Hill that just were unreasonably tight. And I think it was just because of the amount of real estate that he had to work with. But yeah, Royal New Kent was a gem for sure.
Right. And then one last thing I think we need to mention about the trip. I forget the name of the restaurant, but that Mexican spot that was right next to where we were staying in the cottages.
Los Enditos.
Just to tee it up for everyone, we were deciding where to go for dinner for the 8 of us that were there. And someone mentioned there was this Mexican spot literally right next door. Like we could park at our cottage and walk there. Sure enough, we do that. We go in there. There's only one other Mexican family eating there. We sat down and we asked for a drink menu and they told us they couldn't serve alcohol there. But to our surprise, we were allowed to bring our own beer.
BYOB, baby.
So we made an emergency call to one of our buddies that was still back in the cottage, and he brought like a backpack of the beer that we had in the fridge. So savior right there.
Worked out.
And then to be Coronas. Yeah.
And we were asking, can we put on the golf, the Players' Championship Saturday? They hand Ian the Roku remote and give him the Wi-Fi. And this dude is just casting from his phone on the TV behind us.
Did you sign out? Did you sign out of your account, Ian? They might still be using it.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I think he did.
They could still be using it for all I know.
You know
Maybe
what?
this is just
worth
trap.
it.
Oh, yeah. Even if I get hacked, well worth it. Absolutely.
I just can't believe we actually found a BYOB Mexican restaurant. It's like unheard of.
I've never seen that.
It's out there, yeah.
Yep. I've never seen that before.
I was craving a margarita, too.
I think we all were.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, but next time.
Anyway, now we are free agents for our next trip. For anyone listening that wants to sponsor us,
we'll go anywhere.
Anytime.
All right, back to regularly scheduled programming. We have the Texas Children Houston Open this weekend. Fun fact, I found the Monday qualifier tournament for this event. 2 people qualified. I would like you guys to guess what the winning score was to qualify.
Par 72?
It was a par 72.
And I'd say, I'm going to say 2 under.
Okay.
I'm going to say 64.
Okay. If you shot 2 under, you just creeped in to the top 20. Shot 64, you would have been 1 off of making it. The winner shot 60 and second shot 63.
Who the fuck are these guys?
Sam Ryder. I don't know who that is. And Jackson Suber.
Jackson Suber's from Tampa. He holds a course record at the MCA. It's the course I've been wearing right now. Shout out to Jackson Suber.
He is playing in the Texas Children's Houston Open.
What are the chances? What are the chances, John? Wow.
Yeah, he's a Tampa kid. I think he played Ole Miss, and he's been at Corn Ferry. He's qualified for some tour events. Yeah, young kid, up and coming, good stick. And then Sam Ryder won the 3M a couple of years ago in Minnesota. I guess his 2-year exemption is out.
I mean, it's just wild to know you shoot a 60 and qualify for this event, and no knock on Sam Ryder. Obviously, he's a great golfer, but I feel like these Monday qualifiers barely ever make the cut. And they're going to shoot something like a 74 or 75, something like that. But it's got to be so defeating to shoot a 65 and not even like be in a playoff to qualify for this event.
They really want you to go low.
It's brutal.
Proof you should be there. Yeah.
It's
brutal. But I mean, 60's something where they played fucking out of their mind. You don't miss a shot when it's
you're in the zone.
Absolutely.
12 under.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get into it. Is this the week? I don't know. There's not many people playing in this event. There's 3 guys that are in the top 20, basically. And Scotty's one of them. I was telling, I was telling John before you hopped on that DraftKings has this thing that I just found, at least on desktop. We haven't figured out if this is on mobile yet, but on like the right-hand side under where your bet would be when you're on the golf, you can pick a player and it will not only show you their results from this season so far, it'll show you results from previous years at that specific tournament and how they played. And then it'll also give you your shot to the green, off the tee, putting and all that, comparing to the field for that specific event. It's in DraftKings.
There's more data.
So I clicked on Scotty, and the last 4 years, he's basically finished either T2 or like T7 at this event. So don't pick Scotty this week so he can keep it up.
Yeah. Or if you do, don't tell anyone about it. Keep it to yourself.
Noted.
All right, John, do you want to lead us off here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a guy that's newish to the tour. Didn't use him at all last year. Been playing well lately. Kind of burst onto the scene at the Players. Had a good finish there. He's young. I'm going to butcher his last name. Michael Thorbjornsen.
You got it. That was it.
You did it? All right. One take. Everyone knows the rules.
Ian?
All right. So I think his game stacks up well in a bit windier conditions with his ball flight as it stands today. And again, you don't have to be first. You just can't be last. I'm going Chris Gotterup plus 110.
This is one of those events for me where there's not many big names playing. And I feel like this is the time to kind of bump up the odds a little bit. Now, this guy hasn't had the best last couple of weeks. He's unfortunately been cut his last 3 events. But I have a feeling, and this happened last year. This happened last year for our spear bets.
Go on.
But I think I'm going to go with Nick Dunlap this week.
John's face.
Because if we put Nick Dunlap in,
we lose.
Straight to jail.
A $10 bet would win $700.
Yeah, that's for a reason. But we also haven't. But we also haven't won. Like,
I'm just kidding. I'm not taking Nick Dunlap. It's not happening.
God damn it, Eric. God fucking damn it. Give me a different attack.
So anyway.
Okay, I'm going with someone who played very well last week, actually. And this is kind of a shout out to Shane's brother, Chris. It's his favorite golfer for a very specific reason. I'm going with Sungjae.
Sungjae. Basically a West Coast American.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's basically American.
The Korean Prince of Augusta.
Even Tommy Fleetwood. Basically American.
Yeah. Okay.
So that puts our odds at 16-1. So a cool $10 bet wins 170 back.
All right.
So it's pretty much a lock.
Right.
Pretty much. Did you guys see DeChambeau's playing in this event?
Which event? He's not playing this event.
Or no. Sorry, that was a PGA Championship.
Yeah, what I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. He just won in South Africa yesterday. Koepka's, yeah.
Koepka's playing it.
Yeah.
Was he crying or something?
Yes.
Can someone tell me the reason why?
Didn't disclose.
He didn't. My guess is it's the stereotypical country music issues. I lost my dog. I lost my wife. I lost my truck. I lost my house.
Ian's a little delusional right now.
I thought John was about to hang up. I saw John's screen go black. It's like, damn, man. I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, there it is. There's his face.
Yeah, we're good.
We say this every time, but this has to be the week, right?
It's got to be the week.
It's got
one time we will say that, and we will be right.
Actually, it'll be the 1 week that we don't actually say it, and we're gonna literally clip in ratchet. We're gonna ratchet ass clip in another week's. This is the week, guys. We're not gonna be wearing the same clothes. We're not gonna be wearing the same clothes. See, I told you we were gonna win this week.
There you go. That's all we need.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If it takes us not saying that to win, we'll try that next week. We'll just be like, maybe not. We'll see. Not making any promises.
Maybe.
We're just doing it for the love of the sport. We don't need to win.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I need to win.
Charitable donations.
I need this, man.
All right. Well, that does it. Another round in the books. Again, thanks for hanging out with the tribe. Remember, if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and share it. Until next time, keeping the short grass, keep the drinks cold. And as always, go Noles.
Go Noles.